Enough about me. Let's talk about the media and geocaching, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm sure as you have seen on the internet, on the news, in the newspaper, different ways that geocaching has been portrayed. And we are going to touch about each of that. If you have questions or comments, I want you to bring them up, because with this open forum, this is a great way to air your feelings out and your ideas to hopefully help improve that. So let's go over a couple of things. In the media, let's start talking about the good. Now, what I did is I actually went out onto the internet and just pulled some of the headlines and ideas about geocaching right off the main page when it came to the internet. Some of the things that was a common theme that you will see about geocaching, and the majority of it is good. You guys should be proud of yourself for the stuff that you do with geocaching, because it makes a difference. Why? You can see and hear that geocaching has a public exposure, attracting new geocachers. That's starting to build. If you remember when you first started geocaching, wasn't there that wondrous amazement that even in your world that you walked through day by day, these little caches were everywhere, and you didn't know they were there? There's an attraction to that. And geocaching is starting to pull other people, and more importantly in my mind, families are coming out. Communities are coming out and doing geocaching. So that's a great thing. The other one, and this is what I'm really proud of, is the CITO events. Why? The world is our game board. We need to take care of it. And so every time during, like last year, I did probably 4 CITO events attended, where we go out and we clean up our game board, which is our planet. And that is a tremendous achievement, and you should be proud of it. Very cool thing. Also, the other nice thing about in the media with geocaching is information about geocaching is passed on to others. So your children are going to be picking up those pieces of paper and trash as they walk around. Why? You do that while you go geocaching. It gets passed on and passed on and passed on, and that is a great thing, and it looks very good in the media. Okay, the bad. The very thing that we want to do with geocaching is to bring more members in. Why? We have more caches. We don't want oversaturation, but we want to see the game, sport, obsession expand. The issue with that is, with the more members that we have, it also does things like create muggle trails. The national parks have a huge thing, of the state parks. One of the reasons that they don't want geocaching in there is because people don't take the extra couple of steps to make sure that the environment isn't getting hurt. Doesn't look good. The last part, sometimes, and it's not every geocacher, it's some geocachers, usually a small percentage of them, that actually do stupid stuff. And they do damage, and they don't care if they hurt anything as long as they found that 35 millimeter in a tree. Not good. But for the majority of us, we take that and know that there are certain common sense things that you need to do the right thing. But some don't. Unfortunately, it's that small percentage that gets the headlines. Okay. In the media, the ugly. Oh, I love talking about the ugly. Why? How many of you have read on the internet, and I won't even go over a specific one because there's so many out there, that you have read a comment from a reporter that didn't even know what geocaching was 15 minutes ago, but just did an expose, and even worse, pulled in the police or somebody else and gave some falsehood for sensationalism to make their report look like it's decent. Oh my God, a bomb. Oh my God, that these geocachers are going around destroying the planet because they're littering us with all these caches. The vandalism that happens. Have you seen any? I haven't. And if it is, it's so obscure that, you don't see it. The terrorist mentality. Okay, I have seen some stupid caches, I put underneath the bridge something that looked like a bomb with wires on it because it would be funny. Oh my God. People use common sense 99% of the time. It's those few couple that don't, that bite us. And that gets me boiling every time. You can tell I'm already getting this way. But because we are in a 9/11 mentality, there are common sense things we have to do to keep our sport active and going right and not having people get alarmed. So we're going to touch over some of that. What is the media? I broke it down into several different things. One is geocaching on the net, getting the information and seeing the information on the net. What are some of the ways that we transfer this information? We do it through blogs and websites. We do podcasts. We do YouTube videos. Those are pretty much the most common ones that I can think of for that. Social networks. I've been doing this all day, folks. Everybody that's been up here, their pictures have been going out on Twitter. I have probably about, I want to say 700 followers, not including Facebook, that are all watching this, and they are thanking me for doing this because it's like being here because they couldn't get here. Did it again? There's stuff all over the place. And it's an amazing thing. Geocaching has turned into this solitary going out, finding a cache in the woods, to this network, this amazing community. I am from Michigan my whole life, but I'm actually down from Raleigh, North Carolina now. I feel just as comfortable with you guys as I do with somebody else in Nevada or Utah or France or Germany or England. We all have this huge social network, and through things like Twitter and Facebook, it's getting more and more elaborate and more intense. And I think that's an amazing thing. I hope you do too. Geocaching on television is new. I really think it is. There are some examples of it being out there, but as a rule, or as the sport game obsession has built, it's starting to get more noted. And that's a cool thing. The news definitely is in there. TV shows, starting to get more and more involved in there. Movies. I had the pleasure of being mingled with a movie called Find Me. And through there you can actually see some of the GeoSnippits stuff on there, that they wanted the introduction to geocaching, so people who went to see the movie would know what geocaching was. But even movies are starting to build into the media for geocaching. So let's talk about the good. It's always a good thing. Geocaching in the media. Hide and seek. This is ripped right out of the headlines, right off the internet. Get this. Hide and seek geocaching helpers search more and learn more about a region. How many times have you gone to an area and said, I have never known that was there before? All the time. All the time, and I think it's great. I do a thing on my blog. I just started a new job in the RTP in Raleigh, which is basically Silicon Valley for the East Coast. For me to learn where different areas are, I do a geocache every lunchtime. Now, it's a very saturated area, but doing that and finding one geocache a weekday, I've learned where all the businesses are. I know where all the different good hot spots to eat, all the different areas where I wouldn't have known without having to ask somebody. Geocaching is a great way to learn history, and it's a great way of learning how to learn about an area or region. Second one, geocaching helps save lost climbers on Mount Hood. I am not making this up. A while back, a series of climbers got lost on Mount Hood in a winter snowstorm. Did not have their GPS functioning. They were completely lost. They had a phone. They had no idea where they were. Found a cave. In the cave, they found a geocache. I am not making this up. They found a geocache, found the name of it, called it in on the police. The police looked up the coordinates, and they found them. I am not making this up.